Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday at 0800 hours and 19 minutes, September 18. Wake up, everybody. You gotta go to work. You're either going to work or you already at work. So, on the average, most people work 40 hours a day. You got kids, you might be. My conversations is for everybody. More spiritually inclined to do everything I do than just to make a buck off of it, a dollar. I love speaking the truth. I love hearing the truth. I love interaction with people. I love being around people. And foremost, I love who I am. Know who I am. I know if you put me in any situation, I know how to react. I've been just about through everything. I'm not a type of person to fritter or afraid. You might get me discombobulated because my mind going and connecting. And that is to better prepare me for things that is still to come. That way much easier. We make so many small problems out to be big problems. And today I want to speak about being real. What is being real? In my life, what I seen as real, I seen that as so destructive to people around people, to that person, family member. And whether we believe it or don't know it or do not want to pay attention, everything you say and do affects some other person in some way. As an adult, some little kid is watching you. As you grew up, whether you was a daughter or not, some little kid is watching you from afar that you will not see. Because one before I was that little kid watching people. And people don't think about the little kids, but people really don't think about their actions and how it affect other people. Because we think we on this earth and we make a move and that nobody sees it. But just wait. And this is like stupidity in us as a people. You are a millionaire, you a thousandaire, you got a great job, you got all of these great things. And I see the common mistake, mistake, the mistake of everybody that says this. I'm doing this on my own. The common mistake, I was born alone. No, you're not. No, you did not. Because what you have to acknowledge for you to be where you at, some person looked at you and did something that helped you. You don't want to acknowledge this because it don't make sense to you because all you was breeded, fostered, and systematically learned, taught, trained, and nurtured the propaganda, subliminal messages, the rule and the order. Said you did it your own. You're a self-made. What the hell is self-made? You cannot make something by yourself on your own, and this is going to sound stupid to a lot of people because I am very practical and logical. This is why it sounds stupid. Think about how you think about everything you do. Think about it. When you think about when you wake up in the morning, you don't even say you did that on your own, right? Most majority of the world be like, I'm gonna think that's why I woke up. So if you even think about that, did you do that on your own? No. So how are you self-made in the common mistake that you just gave if you did it on your own? How? How? If you can explain to me in a logical, practical sense. See, it can be more practical and logical, but even in practical, a practical sense of what you're saying, a sense, a knowing, a understanding. You can't do anything on your own. Not one thing. You know why? You was working with somebody. Because you thought since you couldn't see this person, you wasn't working with them. Let's go back. Let's take it back. Okay. When you became on your own. When you learned how to walk, did you do that on your own? No. Just think about this. I was standing near my mother or father or another person. No child in this world. That's why when people say they're alone, the child that has mother appearances. As I seen every child walk on this earth, I seen a person around them. Unless you have documented video proof that a child stood up by themselves, I mean, look, I don't mean no, give me a time, a date, show me the video, and give me proof. This is how I work off of. I don't work off fallacies or this happened, this happened. If you can show me that, then you can say there are self-made people and there is people that work on their own and got to where they need to on their own. But until then, you cannot. You cannot, because that is being real. If we want to be real, being you not even being you because you're lying already. You don't even know that you're lying. You're not telling the truth. You don't even understand that's not the truth. And I can easily just sum it up. But I want to walk you through I want to challenge you and guide you through this. I want you to understand how you're not self-made and you never did one thing on your own. You never did one thing on your own. Where you at, you did not do it by yourself. There's no possible way. See, and y'all still looking at me like I sound stupid. Y'all still like, oh, that don't make sense. Where he getting at? You not even, but I'm guarantee you are fighting me so much that you're not even thinking about all the things you've done and how other people was around to help you. You're not even thinking about that. When you got that loan, when you got that house, when you got that car, no, you're not even thinking about all the ways people help you. And see, it don't sound like help because the way you say it is I worked for it. I went out and got it. But to do everything you ever did on this earth, you had to associate yourself with another person. And when you associate, somebody else had to see you. And the easiest way to understand this, when you started your business, regardless if you had to go to work, get this money or funds, you had to go associate yourself with another person. They had to agree to say yes. Right? So if you got a business, and I'm just going to use business since we all love money. That's the only thing we can. So phantom in this era, we don't even talk about love no more in the real sense. We would rather talk about, when we talk about love, it's not love. We talk about conditions and how we are conditioned to make sure as a man, I do a certain thing. As a woman, you do a certain thing. So you're not worried about my well-being, why I feel a certain way, why I act a certain way. All you worried about is what you just see and what you want. And if that ain't what it is, that's not it. You know, there would be millions, all these people that's single, we would not be single. If our counterparts, we may not all be for each other, but I guarantee you all these single person is for somebody else that's single, that's living by themselves, that's working hard, that have a job, that even don't, because you don't even know what you in a person's life for. I met women, I could have seen myself marrying, but I was like, I'm not even in her life for that. I realized that. And I got a guy that I'm like, that's a Puerto Rican guy. I'm in his, like, he showed me a different form of courtesy. But he don't like me because you know what I did? He don't like me in the sense like why he like. I don't like the word like. It was something about the word like. I cannot find it. But I know yeah and yam should not be used. Murder, death, kill. Y-E-A-H or Y-E-A or yeah, Y-E-A. Or Y-A-M, yam, mean murder, death, kill. That came to me in the vision or understanding. When I get visions and understanding, I don't sit there and try to say why. Especially if it's like, okay, I don't need to use those words. I don't need that. So if it say stay away from that car, I don't need that car right now. There's a reason. So let me stay away from that car. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some things just like, let me just do it anyway, because how does that really don't affect me in a negative way or a positive way? It don't affect me at all. People like, you need a car. Having a car or not having a car don't affect me in any way, not negative or positive. It don't raise and lower who I am. It don't show me who I am. Like that don't make sense. So as you started your business, you had to go market yourself. You ever heard of customers and clients? That right there already should put you in the mark. Like, okay, that make don't say you and see, don't go off of what I'm saying, logical and practical, because that's what you're doing right now. You're trying to go away from the logic and practical of things I always say to you. This is how to get our understanding and knowledge back. Because if we want to know the truth, we got to be real logical and practical. We can't ask a question knowing the meaning already. It's not a double, it won't be a double standard. It's not a standard. If you're working on your character, your personality, and your attitude, you got good moral and positive morals and values and ethics. You're not like abbreviating each mark, each level you get to. You're using them the same. Me jumping over this is not much higher than you jumping over this. It's the same. We had to acquire it the same way. We both had to jump over, correct? Now, this is where now I always say we are not created equal. We are created fair. If I have to jump over and I'm 6'5" and you're 5'6", there's no way and let the height of this obstacle is going to be equal for you. It's going to be fair because the height of the obstacle is the same height. What made it fair, we both jumped over it at our height, whatever height we was at, the same height. We didn't have to raise or lower. I'm not going to say that's unfair to you. I'm not going to say, because it's going to be a situation where I got to duck and you got to duck. And I got to duck a little lower, just like you got to jump a little higher. So how is that unfair? That's the breakup equality. There's social equality. Get rid of that. I don't want equality. Give me social fairness. That's what we should be fighting for. So if you're saying the law, the guidelines, the rules, the regulations, why is it not fair across the board? How come I don't get the same dental care as the rich people? How come we don't pay the same much taxes? How come they don't pay the same taxes? How come we don't get treated fairly when it comes to about our economy, about the technology, production? That's what I want to say fair on. I don't give a damn about how the social inequality. There's no such thing as equality. We're not equal. We're all fair to each other. That's the whole thing. That's what comprehension is made for, understanding and knowledge. I never hear, as you see leaders, only leaders I see that is great, they actually give you knowledge. The leaders I've been listening to, like the last like 25 years, have not gave me knowledge. What we call leaders, great people. They gave us jewels. Like recently, Cat Williams gave us a jewel. People agree and disagree. Let's go with the fact the jewel he gave us. He said black comedians. And Chris Rock said, and we always said it, you are black people funny. You're only going to make it on the black level. And we'll quote unquote what black is in America is people that's dark, like my color, or darker, or a little lighter, but you're born to a person that's like us. That's what black mean in America. Got nothing to do with it's not even your race. Because I met a person that was not even born and like don't even have African in them, but since their skin color was dark, they was a black, like we went black. They was Arabic, and they had like, and it was funny, they had like an actual what we call Caucasus or Caucasian or Euro race in them. It was a Roman race, the conqueror, the colonizer race in them. And it wasn't even, they didn't have African descent. Because a lot of stuff don't even come. We think everything started with this black person. That's another time. That's not how the world works. That's why you see different shades of color of people. It's not just one dark person. It's a person that's pale as ever and a person dark as ever. But somehow this world was created with one color in mind. If you mix all the colors together, what color do you get? Some person tried to be funny with me. You did like a doodle green or a brown. But if you light it on fire, it turned purple. So think about mixing all the colors together. Of course, we're going to say, wow, that's the original. Well, we will say that. But back to where I'm at. So we started thinking about what is fair. So if you selling me you're self-made, I would like, no, you're not self-made. Nobody, I don't even want to be called, what we're calling people, do not call me that. Don't call me a player. I'm like, don't call me a nigga. I'm not a nigga. I know what that means. I'm not a player. I know what that means. I never played myself. See, when you're a player, you played yourself first. Because a lot of men and women I see that's players, they playing themselves because they meet a good person. And the first person they play is usually a good person. That's how they get the reputation. See, your reputation is based off of what you do. It's not based off, oh, they lying on me. I've been real. You've been phony as hell. Because you allowed yourself to be captured and captivated and conquered and enslaved by what is already here. So you took on the premises, the rights, the order, the rule, the law, the spirit of that's negative inclined in the world, and you took it on and you said, that's my iniquity. That's my disease. That's my illness. But you still took on everything else and said, I did this on my own. I have a good example. A lady had a child at a young age, just had a regular job, got a car given to her. And throughout her life, to get to where she's at now, her mother and her brothers and sister was watching her son. Only had one child. The father wasn't there. She kept going into court after date after date, court after court. And it was like, why keep going to court? He's not there. You're wasting time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting everybody else's time. I laugh at the court. I would never be in court because court is stupid. It don't even make sense. You're going there for what reason? To tell on somebody for what? It don't serve. You're wasting my time. If you really want to get back at somebody, ignore them. That's the best thing. If you haven't learned that by now, ignore people. Even on social media, ignore them. But people what I do first, I ignore you, but I look at what you're saying first. I'm like, let me see. And then when you start talking stupid, I just said, thank you, shalom. And I pick other words like, well, since you want to be that way, you know what I just make it so like a little kid was talking. Since you want to be, people like, that sounds like a little kid writing. Yes, that might. If you ever read a post that I wrote, it might sound like a little kid wrote it. It's gonna be grammatically correct, incorrect, wrong, fragmented, all that. Because I'm not making I'm not trying to sound like a professor. I'm trying to make a point to what you're saying, literally on the topic. I'm not going to variance on the topic. And as you change the topic, I'm like, well, I know about this too. I know about this too. Like somebody tried to give me a topic on the law. I was like, you need to learn the law, but so far on your own knowledge. Unless you go and study with somebody or somebody explain this law to you, you have no understanding of this law. And that's what this man kept trying to tell this woman. And the woman didn't get it. And another woman agreed. I wasn't agreeing. I was looking like he's telling you the truth. A lot of laws are unconstitutional. And to know the law and study, you got to really study the law. Because I went to the library and I said this. I picked up the book and I was like, wow, this is why you have to go to school for this? You really, and it sounds funny, I really need that systematic and institutionalized training to learn the law. That's why there's a bar exam. No, not everybody's people that even want to do this for the rest of their life, they failed. Some people failed a bar exam 3 times because it's not easy to understand the law. It's so many revisions and stipulations. And she tried to say the law came from the biblical, and she used some examples. She's like, coincidence? I was like, no, it's not a coincidence. You don't know the law. The law is not predicated and it's not built around our creator. It's built under the creator. Think about that. But so when you start out there going to make them plans to go do, it took it took that woman to, and she still don't understand this. I don't know if she fathomed this yet. Without those people helping you, you would have had a harder. I'm not saying you'd have never got there. You'd have had a harder time. Also, they say that if you have a child at a younger age, add on 6 years to get to where you at. Everything you do, add 5 to 6 years. You know why I say that? Before you can leave your child alone with somebody on a regular basis, hours and hours of the day, it takes 5 to 6 years. You know why? Because the first 5 or 6 years, a child cannot go to school yet. They changed. It used to be 3. I went to school at 3 or 4, going into my 4 because I graduated. I could have, if I hadn't got kind of like placed back for, it was like a weird reason, and I got moved up, but it was like a year late. I would have graduated literally just turning 17 because the way my birthday run. And if you're born like in October, November, December, you can graduate. And if you start school at a certain time, it can seem like you're like, oh, you smart. No, I was just very quiet. Not gonna lie, but I wasn't gonna call myself. I'm gonna say I was intelligent. I don't want to be smart. Don't ever call me smart. Don't call me nice. Nice mean foolish. And because I know smart is the act of creating what they want you to see. Like I see a lot of people that's smart, but you get them away from what they're very, very good at mentally and put them in a mechanical field. Not good at all. Even if you give them directions, because people are like, oh, that kid is smart. Like I was watching this like program yesterday, and I was like, oh, to do what they do, and they got to be smart. I was like, no, you don't. People just, when I say stuff, people don't like what I say because they know where I'm coming from, but they don't like to hear where I'm coming from. I was like, these kids are very good at what they're doing. They're not smart. Just like when I see an 11-year-old graduating college, that is great. I don't care what his preference, creed, skin color is or whatever. That's great. But at 11, my child is not going to be graduating college. I don't care how high his IQ is. He's 11. He's still a kid. Just like those kids in the competition, they end up all winning because it's a competition. So even the kids that left the show end up winning because they didn't even pick a winner. They said, great job. They gave all 6 or 5 kids a hug for winning. They all won. Because you cannot put that, because they learned that. And I'm happy the show producer did that. That was like the smartest thing ever. You cannot tell none of them kids they are losers at 12 years old. You cannot tell, just like when you cursing your child as a bad kid, you're cursed them. He's going to be bad. She's going to be bad. So when our logic and practical kick in, you didn't do this. So that person had to open the door for you. You didn't do this on your own. You know, we'd still be fighting. There was white onlys and colored onlys. The people before you, they didn't open them doors for you. Them doors would be closed and you still have to go to the black only side door where the garbage was at. You did it on your own, right? See, I'm too practical and logical. That's why it's hard for me to sit there around people. Now, and I learned it's okay to be by yourself. I didn't say alone. I said be by myself. I'm never alone. Because right now I got social media. I can go knock on my neighbor door. I can go to my mother's house. I'm never alone. That's a lot of things I can do to never be alone. But to be by yourself, that's hard. That's hard. That's hard. It's easy for me. I never had a trouble to being by myself. And I don't mean this because I see a lot of even posts. I hear a lot of people talking within the midst of where I'm at. When they talk about being by themselves, it's more of, it's not even a self-love by yourself. It's more of, I've been hurt by myself. Cool, that's good because you don't want to be hurt. But as I explained to a woman, what you don't want me to do to talk to no woman, because I don't really connect to a lot of women. Because when you start telling me this is what it is, there's no way you're going to tell me that's the only way it should be. Forget, even if this was the 1820s, even back then, I know that I'd have had the same mind and be like, this is not it. But I know back then, though, people were, it seemed like since we're even, that's why I don't like smart people. You're not even willing to listen. A woman say you're not willing to listen. No, you're not even hearing what I'm saying. She's responding. She tried to be since I get because she I guess she wanted to be right. When you talk to me, I like to challenge and guide and like give dialogue. Sometimes I talk more than I listen. Then I'll be like, let me just shut up. Let me just shut up because I need to listen more. It seems like I talk more, but I listen more than I talk. Because I like when a person say, OJ, you talk more than me. I was like, no, I don't. The last so many conversations you had, and I will break it down. Like literally, you talked for half an hour, I talked for 5 minutes. And I wasn't keeping track, but I know the difference of how long I was talking compared to the person. But most of the time in the beginning, I probably do talk more. After a while, I'm talking to the person, they start talking more. Because what I did was challenge a lot of things that they were saying. Not challenging them, I'm challenging like a viewpoint. You telling me this viewpoint, like I just gave a viewpoint of equal and fair, why equality is stupid and why fair should be more word garnish and fashion. Somebody would still have a problem with that. Because as I said, I am 6'5", you're 5'6". And if we both have to jump over a pole that's the same height, that's not equal. Because I'm going to have an easy, I might even have to jump higher as you. I don't have to jump as high. I don't have to step over as high. But if it's something lower, I have to duck down a little lower than you. See, no, people don't want to understand that. But in reality, we're ducking down fairly. Because at the end of the day, we're ducking down based on how far we got to duck. It got nothing to do with our height no more. And see, that's too logical. And people are like, how is that the same thing? Well, if I bend my torso over and you bend your torso over, we're ducking down the same amount. We're taking the same amount of energy and we're ducking the same way. I'm not talking about if you hurt or broke your leg or you missing, just like if a person missing the arm. That's not, it's still fair. Don't change this. Because he might have an advantage in some way. Because if you change it, you never know how really good you are. Now you can change a rule or order to make sense. Okay, well the law said if somebody hit another person, that's an attack. But wait, if the person is now you got to think it makes sense. If you are provoked constantly, the person bumped you, getting close to you, spit on, doing things that's like over the top. Like, dang, you really is trying to get punched by this person. I'm not gonna say that is unfair to punish both people. Just like if a person doing a bad action and you're watching and you able to make some change in this action, you're just that much as fault. Now the stipulation, this person is doing something to somebody and they have a reason. Now this is gonna sound funny. You have a choice, but you still don't want to see harm done. Not in my presence. So most people say I walk away because we understand it's not my punishment. It's not my ordeal. It's not my affair. I had talked to a lady I was dating. She felt so, I was like, no, I don't have to. It's still a choice. And that sounds funny because I'm still practical and logical. It's still my choice to put myself, and this is the kicker. I'm about to put myself in harm's way to help a person I never met. I never knew. Even if it's you. What if I knew you? What if you knew that person? It's like, damn, you really deserve this, but you don't deserve to be harmed to death. But look what you did. And it's like I had an example. You said, well, if I was walking by a lady that was a black lady and the man was hurting her, I said I wouldn't let that happen. And then she put more, so she was adding to the scenario. I was like, what if she had blood all over her? What if she killed this man, wife and daughter or son, or his wife and her child? And I don't know that. And he has a weapon. I can call the police, but the police ain't gonna get there fast enough. She's like, what would you do? I was like, I gotta make a choice. Is I'm willing to get hurt for this person? And a lot of people, we won't think about that. And that's really not, now we're gonna say equality. What's equal about that? That is really unfair to the person that's going to help at this time. I'm not gonna knock you. I'm like, that's messed up that I walked into a situation. I know I was there for a reason, but you and that's why I say little kids are watching us. You made them a part of this. You putting them in a situation to think about a certain way when it's like it should be fair. And you should recognize that it's fair. It's not your fault. It's not my fault between this man and woman. It's not my fault what's happening right now in this world. It's not my fault that I speak out. To me, that's real. They say real recognize real. No, they don't. Real do not recognize real. Only thing that recognizes is you. What would I have to do to put myself in danger to protect another human being? See, nobody want to think. The lady, she was saying something off the wall, like if her ex was on fire and she ain't had no water around, she wouldn't even pee on him. The one guy was treating her so bad, she wanted to pick up the shoe and shove it down his throat and step on his head. Like, come on. It's like, that's okay to say though. But since I had to make a real choice of cater to that was going to affect my life, there was a problem. Since I didn't speak a certain way to her, I didn't manipulate my words just to prop her up. I said, you beautiful because you are naturally beautiful to me. I didn't have to come with a line or some blanket statement that was used. I said, you're beautiful, not even by the beauty, by who you are, your aura. If you met her, she's not the best looking woman. She's not the most attractive to what a lot of men, but who she was. And she wasn't, and I would never say, like, she was attracted to me, but I know a lot of men. I know lots of men. She's not attractive to what our standard is a standard. I don't even like the word standard because I say moral values and ethics of what beauty is. She's not the standardized, society standardized what attraction, what a beauty is. I see beautiful women and I don't think she's attractive. There's beautiful women I looked on out in the world when I walk by like, man, she bad. I'm like, I don't even think she's pretty. Like, she's not my attraction. Even from the aura, her outside, she have a good aura, but that don't make me attracted to her. Just like women say, we not, because we think a woman beautiful, we're not attracted to them. We don't want to be with them. So I don't know how we can get that connotation instead of the annotation of who we and is a of us, of what we're putting out there, of what it's supposed to be, of what is my attraction level. It's a different type of understanding. We got different understandings of each. So, but if we be fair and we think logical and practical, that's being real. What's being real too is what we allow and don't allow. We all say, man, I'm the realest person out here. No, it ain't. No, you're not. I hate the word ain't. No, you're not the realest person, dude or woman. You used to be on, like, it's great. And I always said this, and the dude said this, he reiterated. If you ever cross destruction to a place, area of people, you got to go back up and make for that. All the people that murder people, they're supposed to be helping them families. The family don't want to see it or hear it, but you supposed to, when you got a prison, that's your mission. That's your life goal. You just took a life. You just destroyed the community. Now you made it a neighboring surrounding. You made it a hood. You supposed to be fixing that up. You were selling drugs and crack to your people or people around. You supposed to go help them. That's how you redeem. If you're gonna look at the Redeemer, you do what's gonna bring back togetherness. We're not doing that. That's real. What's real, we don't do real. What's more destructive, we love destruction. We love love and hip hop, VH1. We love BET. That's all we love to kill each other. We love to have illegitimate babies. We do love it. Because we like it. That's equal. Sex for sex for a baby. But then when you left, oh, that's unfair. No, it's not unfair. It was equal because you wasn't calling that unfair when you could have closed your legs or you could have put a condom on or you could have been a man and left. You didn't call that. Yeah, it was yes. So no, that don't make, so if we're going to be real, let's be real. Tell the truth. That's the real being you. But then if you're going to make an example, don't make an example without a cause, without all the truth. You can take a, how did I put it? You can take truth versus facts. You can take facts and make them the truth. You can take any fact and make it the truth. You watch the news, right? They can take all those facts and make it the truth. Right now, we're in the 14th order. The 14th order is the racial charge. These orders have meaning. If you look at our Constitution and our law, there's orders. There's state and federal order. This country is an organization. It's a federal republic. And what are they doing? It's charging us for the new world order. That's what these orders is for. It's for the new world order. And it sounds silly and funny to people, like it's a conspiracy. These are not conspiracies. We're on an earth and it's ran. What sister? And if you just think about it, if you look up their story. So if that's the truth, if we look up the truth of the beginning of time, what have the man have done to man? We always war for what? To control. So if that don't even come to your mind, like they want control, I don't care who won it. Anybody that stands in the way of saying not allowing people to live their lives, like you want capitalism, you want control. You're not on my side. I have nothing for you. I have nothing for you. You're not with me. You don't stand for the creator. I want to be real with people. What we're seeing is not what the God, our creator, the Almighty. I say God because that's a lot of people social, Allah, Buddha, whatever. They did not. The creators, the gods, the goddesses, way we're using this earth is not what it's supposed to be used for. The way we're acting and treating each other was not the way we're supposed to act and treat each other. That's being real. We're paying for land that's free. We're fighting in war for land. We're controlling people. We're enslaving people. People keep saying, well, that was happening. Like, no, that happened because we're fools. We're stupid. A people that was garnished to protect didn't protect. That was supposed to protect. Every race has their order, and the real true order from the creator. Through the spirit, through the stars of light, the frequencies, the wavelengths, and the vibrations. We're not even working with the spirit no more. The atmosphere is what is made us, what is surrounding us. We're not working with that. We're not even real. We're not being real with ourselves. You would do things like, why am I doing this? I remember a woman tried to give me logic. I was like, that's not logic. And I know there's a lot of people with all these cologne and Android people. They're very traumatized in their life. All of them. Every last one of these people I've ever seen is traumatized. Where's my glasses? So we start taking the time out to start understanding what's really going on and look at the earth. Look at it right now. What you should be doing is looking at fairness, not equality. Start educating, going out. Educate means to go out. Shun is to go get it. Go out and get it. What are we going to get? We're not even a good example to the children. Like if you listen, I guess you call them the millennials. They sound like fools to me. Because I remember I probably sound like fools to a lot of other people. But I know a lot of other people that sound like fools to, just like the guy, he about to be 50. He's like, you know what you sound like to people? Another person, he said, you sound crazy. He said, you make a lot of sense, but you sound crazy. I did because I'm challenging you. He's like, nobody never like say, no, that's not challenging. They're like, you got a lot of good points. And then what they would do, and I was like, you keep on trying to find reason not to want to believe the truth. I was like, go look it up. The same thing you was reading is the same thing I read, but somehow you missed the line when it actually taught. You was only going off what you was taught or learned. I'm going off like I was stupid. So literally when I was reading, it had to be practical and logical. And if it wasn't practical and logical, my mind couldn't phantom it. Like you tell me if you take two negatives, it's going to make a positive. See, my mind won't allow that to happen because my mind know that's not the truth. That's not the all truth. That won't always happen. That probably will rarely happen. But I know if I have a negative and a positive, either it can go negative or it can turn positive. But two negatives will never be positive. Because two negatives always propels. And you're not going to convince me in logical and practical sense that two negatives going to be positive one day. Because I never seen you put any two negative things together. I seen explosions. I ain't never see it. I ain't never see them combine and work for the good. And if they did, they was working for the negative. It's like two negatives stayed negative. They didn't work to get better. They didn't work to change the outcome that was going to make it useful for everybody or used for a purpose that was going to be a better purpose. I never seen that. I never seen if you put two drugs together that's synthetically made, there's no way it's going to work for the better of us. If you put any two things together, no matter how you're trying to cut it up and slice it, it's not going to never work for the better of us. It's going to be always negative. Now, if you put a negative and a positive, you got a chance because you got a chance that positive can influence that or the negative influence that positive. Or they can actually show each other what made them negative and positive and come to an understanding at least. We're not even there yet. So what I say unto one, say unto all. It's your choice, your path, your journey. Choose wisely. You be the best you can be. Love thyself. Don't be a lover of yourself. Become who you are supposed to become. Keep working with the positive and good ethics, values, and morals. If you know what that is, look in yourself. You know that's wrong. You was taught that was wrong, and whatever you deem, and if you see that is wrong, is wrong. It's no back. Murder is murder. Hurt is hurt. Problems is pain. Don't matter what tolerance level you can take or not. It's hurt and it's pain. Don't do that. Just understand, because you know it's the truth, and that's the all truth. So come back to who you are. You don't have to listen to everyone, but at least challenge yourself. At least look at guides that can guide you to the truth. You have a great day. Shalom.